This is going to be a little long-winded video, but I think it's important to, I don't know, kind of put my observations out there about the passing lane. Or some people think it's the overtake lane. And please don't take this the wrong way. I'm not trying to be a smart aleck. I'm just trying to put it out there that what applies where you live or what your experiences are, it doesn't always apply everywhere people drive. Just a little background. I've been driving for 30 years. Been driving since I was like 13 years old. And I've also driven on probably 3 different continents, and I've lived in 6 states of the US of A, and I've driven on the East Coast, West Coast, Northern United States, Southern United States, and they're mostly the same, but there are subtle differences. So going back to, does that make me an expert in driving? No. Does that say that I have a lot of experience driving in different places and different conditions? Yes. So anyway, the left lane, in some states, true, is a passing lane. I know my hollow point says in Louisiana, cops have been known to give people tickets for riding in the left lane with nobody in the right lane. I don't know. I can't attest to that. It's never happened to me. Oh, another point about my driving record. In my 30 years of plus of driving, you know how many moving violations I've gotten? 3. I've gotten 3 tickets in my adult driving lifetime for moving violations. I got a couple of parking tickets, but as far as driving, I've gotten 3 tickets. 1 ticket I beat. 1 ticket I went to defensive driving, and I got dismissed. And 1 ticket was kind of a BS ticket that I paid because I had out-of-state license plates and they kind of saw me coming. But anyway, so the way I drive, I would have to say works pretty good, given that I've only had 3 moving violation tickets. So back to the quote-unquote passing lane, that's not always true. Some states you'll see this sign, if I can remember to put it in here, that says slower traffic, keep right. Now that doesn't say that left lane for passing only. I can't remember if I've seen those or not, but I do remember signs that say slower traffic, keep right. Some states, the law is, regardless of what, you know, of whether you're passing or not, you cannot exceed the speed limit. And if you pass and you exceed the speed limit while you pass and they catch you, that's a ticket. I know this for a fact. I was driving, my wife and I were driving through Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and I was following her in my car, and we were, it was a 2-lane road similar to this. The right lane was solid traffic. We were in the left lane, and there were people in front of us and there were people behind us, and it was a 50-mile-an-hour zone. I remember this specifically because we got a ticket. She got a ticket, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But she got a ticket when the speed limit was 50. The cop comes up behind me. I make my way to pull over to try to find an opening in the traffic to the right of me. I pull over. Now mind you, I'm matching her speed because we're going to the same place. And so he barrels up behind her bumper, and then so she's like, what the heck's going on? So she's like trying to find a place to pull over, but the cars next to her were didn't have enough space for her to pull into, and the car in front of her was too close to try to speed up, and she couldn't really slow down, and I couldn't really slow down. I guess I could have, but it didn't matter because the cop was right on her bumper. So then so she, the car in front of her pulls over, so then she has an opportunity to speed up to get in front of the guy in front of her. Well, in the process of doing so, she gets pulled over by the cop for speeding. So right there, that doesn't prove, but that shows that it's not always the case in every state that you have to pass only in the left lane. It may be true in some states, but not all states. The other thing I want to talk about as far as like driving and passing is that when in some states, as long as you are passing safely, you do not have to speed to pass, as long as you are passing slower traffic on the right. And the law is purposely vague. So it kind of gives the police, albeit, some police officers are going to be jerks, but for the most part, they're out there. I hope that all police officers would wish that the public would avoid an accident and do things safely. So the law is written purposely vague, so every condition they can give you a ticket for, basically. So if you're driving too slow in the left lane, they'll give you a ticket.
5 miles, then exit right.
Or if you're going too fast, they'll give you a ticket. So unless you have a law book for every state, every county, every municipality that you're going to pass through, there is no way you're going to know what the law is in that point in time. Like right here, right where I'm at, I have no clue whether it's okay to speed to pass somebody, to overtake somebody, or if it isn't. So my mode of driving is I'll try to pass without exceeding the speed limit too much. I try to keep it 10 under, or 10 over, under 10 over. So if the speed limit here is say 65, I'll try to keep it under 75 while I'm passing. Now while I'm cruising, I'll just go with the flow of traffic if there is any traffic. You can't see it in the viewfinder, but there's a couple of cars in front of me. So that brings me up to another point. While you're passing, even while you're passing, some states require that you follow the 2-second rule or the 3-second rule. Meaning you have to, you can get a ticket for following too closely. I've known people that have gotten them, if you're a tailgater. So in the one video I had where the guy was tailgating me, this guy commented, well, I'm not saying it's okay to tailgate, but you should have moved over. And there were trucks, clearly trucks to the right of me that I was passing. So it didn't make sense for me to pull over to get in front of one truck and then pull back over to get in front of the next truck that's in front of me. That's ridiculous. I know it's hard to see the video that's being taken. You can't see everything. It's not like you're actually there with me. So given my vast experience with driving, I kind of know what I'm doing. So anyway, while you're in the left lane, even though you are passing, even though you may not be passing as fast as some people would like, you still have to maintain a safe distance. And that safe distance in some states, like I said, is 2 seconds. Some states it's actually 3 seconds now. I'm keeping a safe distance, so when that one sign comes up, I'll start counting. Ready? 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. So I'm keeping a safe 3-second distance from the guy in front of me as to not run into the back of him. So in the one video where I was getting tailgated, I was keeping, I believe, at least 2 seconds behind the guy in front of me. And it's hard to tell in the viewfinder because it's kind of a macro, so it's semi-fisheye, so things are closer than they appear. Yeah. Still no way to get over. Traffic hasn't changed, even though he's riding my butt. So, but that wasn't the point of the video. The point of the video was showing the idiot behind me tailgating me. Now let me make this clear. I'm not saying that if you are driving under the speed limit or choose to drive at the speed limit and there is an empty right lane, that you shouldn't be in the right lane. You should be. So anyway, that's my semi-educational rant. Stay safe out there and don't tailgate. Later.